Hello there.
Hello, beautiful.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to a very exciting episode of Fandom Fights. We are here for the singles title match. It is time to fill the vacant singles belt. Nick, Nick, what's up?
We're here for the singles. What?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
I'm so confused.
I was pretending to be shocked, Tim, because of course
Oh, you did it so well. Oh my god. Anyway, vacant belt. Brittany decided it was time for her to step away from singles, dropped the belt after her impressive wins against Joe Fairley. But now I think we got two really great competitors here to go for that vacant belt. We got Robert Castner going up against David Garcia. The way they got here, very interesting. I'll let Nick speak to that, but I just got to say, think this is going to be awesome. Two former teams champions, two people who have challenged for this belt before. They're no stranger to this arena. I'm very excited. But Nick, let's talk about the journey. How did they get here?
Yeah, no, obviously they won 2 weeks ago. They both won the Fandom Contender Gauntlet, comprised of all the people who had challenged for the belt before but had never won it. Robert and David came out on top, which means they're playing each other here today. And you're right, it's eerie how similar these two of a story they have. Both former two-time teams champions on future Hall of Fame teams, if I had to guess, and both have challenged for the singles belt once before they played in the Contender Gauntlet. So very similar stories. I think they're pretty evenly matched, and I don't know who's gonna win, but I'm excited.
Yeah, no, I mean, we definitely have our predictions. We definitely have our thoughts, but I think that this is going to be great. I think they're both playing really, really well right now, and we'll see what happens without their teammates. But one of these guys is going to be the champion at the end of this, and that's super exciting. I love that thought of someone who hasn't been the champion before gets the shot, and we know it's going to be one of these guys. I think they both deserve it. So let's get into it, and we'll go talk to them and see how they're feeling pre-match in the promos. I almost said pre-match interviews. This isn't fucking Melee. Promos.
Well, David, I was so happy to hear that you won the gauntlet, and I'm really excited to manage you today because, as everyone knows, you used to manage me a couple of years ago, and you taught me a lot. So I'm really happy to be in your corner today. I've always thought you're one of the most dangerous players in the league, and I think the fact that you won the gauntlet in the year where you haven't really been studying proves that point. But you've had some time to prep now. How are you feeling?
I mean, you know it. You always go into title matches thinking, I'm underprepared. I should have watched probably 10 more movies or whatever. But I think for having a month after a year of not studying to trying to play catch up, I feel okay. I don't this presented to me out of nowhere. I think Robert is still playing at high level, and he probably thought about going for championship at some point, even teams championship or whatever. I didn't. So this fell into my lap, and I decided to give it a shot, mostly out of respect for the division, the belt, and Robert, because I think it wouldn't be fine to play this match all lovey-dovey and whatever. So yeah, I tried my best. I dusted off my notes, watched a lot of movies. I hope I didn't overdo it. I'm excited. I'm really excited. And yeah, it's always great. Rowan and I always have great matches. So let's hope this is one of them. Thank you for being here with me. Let's do this.
Yeah, let's go.
So yeah, Robert, you're here again. The first time this year, you're here with Brittany. And now you're here with David. How are you feeling?
Brittany's here, I assume, to spark some PTSD in me from the last time I was in a
title match, but that's fine. I don't succumb to that unless I do it of my own free will. So that's not going to work. Yeah, David's correct. You go into title matches, and I feel horribly underprepared because of life things that have changed and everything else that I have coming up subsequent to this match. So the fact that David got here as he did and then had a time to prep scares the living bejesus out of me. But he's right. We always play each other fairly close, usually. So I'm just trying to stay in the moment. If it works out, great. If it doesn't, I still got here. I still feel pretty good about how I've played overall. And yeah, I'm trying to go in loosey-goosey.
In the end, all that matters is both of you try your best to prepare to afford this match the respect that it deserves. So whoever wins, I hope the audience and the host have a great time.
But in the end, it doesn't really matter. Thank you, Linkin Park, circa early 2000s.
Nick, the important question in the room, is Brittany Tapley here to fuck with Robert, support David, or purely because Joe Fairley had to work?
I think she's here to fuck with Robert, but I also fully believe Kaiser is here to fuck with everybody. So let's see what happens.
That's fair. That's fair. All right, let's get into it. Starting with round number 1 of the title match. Nick, how's it going to work?
Round number 1 is going to work like this. There's going to be 10 questions in the realm of Fandom fights. Each player is going to have 15 seconds to write down their answer. At the end of 15 seconds, we will say pens down, at which point the players will reveal their answer and say it aloud. Each correct answer is worth 1 piece. Should any individual player get all 10 questions correct in round number 1, they would receive a bonus question. Each player will have 4 repeats, 1 challenge for the entirety of this here title match. Players, any questions as we end round number 1?
Good luck, Robert.
Let's hope for an entertaining show.
Yeah.
Sounds like a plan. Your first question will come in the category of the worlds of DC. The first time we meet Renee Montoya in Birds of Prey, she is investigating a group of men that were killed by whom?
So I'm looking at my scheduling document where I have the date the match releases and then the match and everything. Okay. And for this match airs 9/28/24. The next match I have in that doc airs 11/2/24. So yes, we're a little bit ahead. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. We're going to go to David.
Okay. Huntress.
You looked surprised. Let's go to Robert.
Yeah, I just said Huntress as well.
Huntress is correct. 1-1. Your next question is coming from the category of Marvel. Someone survives being shot through the neck with a gun in which Marvel film? Ouch.
Yeah, that sucks.
It's painful, just like my ad-libbing jokes with you.
What do you mean?
You're good at it. I'm bad at it.
No.
Yeah.
Not bad.
You were trying to do like a funny thing in the intro.
Yeah, I didn't. We were going to have to start over.
You wanted us to start over?
I thought we were going to have to. I thought you were literally going to stop all the presses and be like, Nick, what's wrong? And I'd be like, dude.
Pens down. Let's go to Robert.
Said Punisher Warzone.
And David.
I said Kingsman, the Golden Circle.
Both are incorrect. We were looking for X-Men, Days of Future Past.
Oh, man.
Oh.
Stupid. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
All right.
Fuck.
Nick, what's next?
Next question comes to the category of sci-fi icons. Who voices the planet-sized Transformer Unicron in Transformers: Rise of the Beasts?
Oh.
You a fan of the Beasts?
No.
I like them when they're robots, but maybe
There's
not.
a new one of these out, right? You liked it?
What? Oh, the new one. Yeah, no, it's good.
Did I stutter?
I couldn't hear you very well. I'm so sorry.
I'm confused. If you couldn't hear me very well, how did you then answer the question before I repeated it?
Blood, pens down. My brain hurts. Let's go to David.
I don't know. Max von Sydow.
And Robert.
Coleman Domingo.
Coleman Domingo is correct. So Robert takes the first lead of the match, 2-1. Your next question is coming from the category of Criminal Underworld. In Furious 7, when it is revealed that Dom and Letty got married, what did they use in place of a wedding ring?
So
It's like a goddamn melee match here. There's a ton of people backstage watching, like just hanging out. That's a joke for us admins who have access. I feel like it's like a low level normal melee match, and Kaiser and Spence and everyone, they're back there like, what's gonna happen?
Peek behind the curtain, Tim, which I'll tell you on the next question since we've talked a lot for this.
Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. Let's go to Robert.
It's a Dom's chain.
Let's go to David.
I said the necklace.
I think we can take both of those, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so 3-2 is the score. What's next?
Your next question comes in the category of epic adventures. In the Desolation of Smaug, who brings Toriel the Athelas she uses to cure Keely? So, peek behind the curtain. Other than that last question, which we had to change for other reasons.
Oh, yeah.
This match has been written for several months.
Yikes.
True.
It was supposed to be, Eric, it was potentially Brittany versus Joe 8.
1. Pens down. Well, yeah, we had to change some round 2s and stuff. But yeah. Let's go to David.
Bofer.
And Robert.
Both.
Bofer is correct.
Both these middle fingers.
And then, Robert, I was able to see it, but since you're a little choppy, just make sure you hold it up.
Hold it up longer.
Okay,
yeah, just a little bit. But I saw it. You're good. Just in the future.
Okay.
Your next question is coming in the category of YA. Who plays Mary, a scientist at the right arm in the Scorch Trials? When was the last time you faced a trial?
Oh no.
And you can't say the time that we went to Five Guys.
That was the trial. There was just us walking by the millions of restaurants in New York City and ultimately deciding on Five Guys.
Hands down, that's true. Let's go to Robert.
Lily Taylor.
Okay, and David.
I don't know.
Lily Taylor is correct. So I have a score of 5-3. Is that what you have, Nick?
Yes, sir.
What's next?
Next question comes in the category of Star Trek. In Star... Bye. Sorry. All right. Your question again. In Star Trek VI, The Undiscovered Country, who calls out Chekhov for the term inalienable human rights being racist while at dinner?
I had a booger like falling out of my nose.
Thank you for sharing.
You're welcome. I'm not going to lie to you about it, but that's why I didn't feel the need to like
Could have lied. I wouldn't have minded personally.
Oh, that's fair. I try to be truthful with you, my friend.
I don't need that all the time.
Okay, Nick, you don't look like a lumberjack. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. Let's go to David.
A Setber.
And Robert.
I couldn't remember a Zetber, but that's right.
David is correct. So 5-4. David cuts into that lead a little bit. Your next question is in the category of Pixar. Which Pixar film features the song Hakuna Matata? Love this question.
What a great question.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
I am receiving a text. From the macaw.
Oh no.
Oh, that's fine. She wanted to know if the baby was still sleeping.
Do you know the answer?
I do. I have the monitor. 1. Pens down. Let's go to Robert.
Toy Story.
And David.
I said Cars 2.
Toy Story is correct. So 2-point game once again, 6-4. What's next?
Your penultimate question will come in the category of the MCU. In Avengers Endgame, Howard Stark tells Tony that his wife is far enough along in her pregnancy that she can no longer stand the sound of him doing what?
It's funny because, like, as a kid, that scene with Hakuna Matata in Toy Story was very like, oh, they're listening to Hakuna Matata in the car. That's funny. But in reality, those movies came out a year apart from each other.
Yeah, literally.
Which is crazy to think about now, because I do not think of them on the same like plane.
Yeah.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. Let's go to David.
Breathing?
And Robert.
So chewing.
Chewing is correct. So Robert will expand his lead as we get into the final question of the round. It's in the category of Law and Order. What is Warlock's real first name in Live Free or Die Hard?
Which of those two things would you rather do?
Chew or breathe?
Live free or die hard?
Oh,
I guess you could die hard and choose not breathing.
Yeah, I live free, probably. I do not want to. I don't know. You can take me out like a wuss. I don't care.
Live free.
Yeah, I enjoy freedoms. 5, 4.
But then you won't die hard.
2, 1. Pens down. That's fine with me. I'm okay with that. As long as Ellie doesn't see. Let's go to Robert.
Freddy.
And let's go to David.
That's right.
Freddy is correct. So Robert will hit that, making it a 4-point game coming out of round number 1. Nick, is that what you have, 8-4?
That's what I have, Tim.
Okay, so both players have all 4 repeats and their challenges. Let's get into round number 2. How's it going to work?
Round number 2 is going to work like this. It is the wheel round. We have a wheel with 10 fandom categories on it.
8
fandom categories on it, as well as spinners and opponent's choice. Each player will get a spin at the wheel. If they like what they spin the first time, they keep it. If not, they can choose to spin again, but they will be forced to keep what they spin the second time. You'll get 5 questions in the chosen category, each worth 2 points apiece, unless you like check down a multiple choice. Which point will only be worth 1, but be on the lookout as stealing is available in round number 2. Tim, it's on the wheel.
On the lovely wheel today, we have Star Wars, Criminal Underworld, Disney Animation, Marvel, Horror Icons, DC, Law and Order, and Pixar. The macaw upset at the location of the monitor.
No, the last purple Gatorade.
Oh, I'm really sorry about that. Okay, so Robert, you were in the lead. Would you like to spin or defer to David?
I am a little taken aback. I feel bad about everything that's happening. Go ahead, Kaiser. What are you going to say?
I personally think there's probably like maybe maybe 2 categories that on here that you don't want. Since you have the hot end right now, how do you feel about going first?
I'd rather sit back, honestly. I feel okay doing either, but I'd rather sit back.
If you feel strongly about it, then sit back. Let me go first.
All right, I'm going to defer, please.
Okay, so we'll bring in Miss Tapley. This is going to be the spin for David. Ooh, and it lands on opponent's choice. So we'll bring back in Mr. Kaiser.
What do you think about this? You think that as opposed to horror? It's one of the two. I've given David horror in the past, and it's been okay, but it's not been great. But if you think Law and Order, that's fine.
What does your instinct tell you?
My instinct says horror because I've done a little bit more work on the other.
Yeah, you know what? Let's go with horror.
All right, we'll do horror then.
Okay. David, you'll be getting your questions in the category of horror icons. Nick, would you please go ahead and read those questions?
Gladly, David, I'll be reading your questions in the category of horror icons, as Tim said when he stole my line. Are you prepared for them?
Sure.
All right. First question. A character finds out their real name is Angel in which horror icons film? Five.
Rob Zombie's Halloween 2.
That is correct for 2 points. All right, David, your second question. Who directed Jason Goes to Hell, The Final Friday?
Multiple choice.
All right, your multiple choice options are: is it A, Adam Marcus, B, Joseph Zito, C, John Carl Buechler, or D, Steve Miner?
D, as in dog.
D is incorrect. Robert, chance for the 1-point steal. Your options again are A, Adam Marcus, B, Joseph Zito, C, John Carl Buechler, D, Steve Miner.
Adam Marcus.
That is correct for the 1-point steal. David, your third question. In Friday the 13th, Part 7, The New Blood, while Sandra is skinny dipping in the lake, Jason kills Russell with what?
Multiple choice.
Your multiple choice options are: is it A, machete, B, a wire, C, an axe, or D, a baseball bat?
Five, 4,
Machete.
3.
It is incorrect. Robert, chance for the 1-point steal. Your options again are A, machete, B, a wire, C, an axe, or D, a baseball bat.
An axe.
That is correct for the 1-point steal. David, your penultimate question in Horror Icons. In Freddy's Dead, The Final Nightmare, Spencer, Carlos, and Tracy are all planning on escaping the shelter together and then traveling to what U.S. state?
Multiple choice.
Your multiple choice options are: is it A, Texas, B, New York, C, Florida, or D, California?
Florida.
That is incorrect. Robert, chance for the 1-point steal. Your options again are A, Texas, B, New York, C, Florida, D, California.
I'm going to say California.
That is correct for the 1-point steal. David, your final question in the category of Horror Icons. In Friday the 13th, 2009, Clay first meets Jenna in what type of location?
Gas station.
That is correct for 2 points in the end of David's round number 2.
All right, so David gets his total up to 8, but with the steals, Robert is at 11. Is that what you have, Nick?
That is what I have, Tim.
Okay, so we'll bring back in Kaiser and the wheel, and we will get Robert's spin for round 2. And it lands on Marvel.
When was the last time that you revisited notes for this category?
A little bit ago, but I think given his prowess, I think I don't mind trying to take another crack and seeing, because I got the lead, so at worst I could be down like a couple. Like if I
worst comes to worst, you spin DC and you multiple your way too. So I think you can spin again.
Yeah, so I'm gonna spin again, please.
Okay, this is what you're going to be stuck with. And you land on Pixar.
It's okay.
Okay. Just be calm.
Yep. I'm calm.
All right, Robert, I'll be giving you your questions in the category of Pixar. Are you ready?
Sure.
Your first question. Which Pixar film features a plan called Operation Recolonize?
It's called.
5.
All multiple.
All right, your multiple choice options are A, Wall-E, B, Luca, C, Onward, or D, Up.
Wall-E.
That is correct for 1 point. Your second question. Who voices Violet Parr in both Incredibles films?
Man. Who? Multiple.
All right, your options are A, Sarah Vowell, B, Sophia Bush, C, Maeve Andrews, or D, Brett Parker.
Can I hear the options one more time, please?
Yes, you can. Your options again are A, Sarah Vowell, B, Sophia Bush, C, Maeve Andrews, or D, Brett Parker.
A.
A is correct for 1 point. All right, Robert, your third question. In Monsters University, what is the name of the fraternity that gets disqualified for cheating in the first competition?
Oh, shit. Multiple.
All right, your multiple choice options are A, Theta Hiss Hiss, B, Sigma Apple Pie, C, Growl Delta Sigma, or D, Jaws Theta Chi. Chi, sorry.
I'll say C.
C is incorrect. David, chance for a 1 point steal. Is it A, Theta Hiss Hiss, B, Sigma Apple Pie, C, Growl Delta Sigma, or D, Jaws Theta Chi?
A.
A is also incorrect. It is D, Jaws Theta Chi. All right. Robert, your fourth question. What specific type of objects does Merida have to buy from the witch in order to also get a spell in Brave?
Multiple.
All right. Your options are A, necklaces, B, tapestries, C, wood carvings, or D, paintings.
Wood carvings.
That is correct for 1 point. And your final question in the category of Pixar. What is the full name of the villain played by Mr. Potato Head in Andy's play scenario at the beginning of Toy Story 3?
One-eyed Bart.
That is correct for 2 points. All right. So at the end of Robert's spin, he gets his total up to 16 to David's 8. Is that what you have, Nick?
That's what I have, Tim.
All right. We're going to move into round number 3. How's it going to work?
Round number 3 is going to work like this. It is the filmography round. We have 3 questions worth 1, 2, and 3 points apiece. The players will receive the same question. The questions are formatted in such a way that we've given 2 clues pointing to a fandom actor or actress. If the players get question correct, they will receive the concurrent amount of points. If they get it incorrect, they won't. And then we'll go to round 4.
You're sweet.
Can I
Okay.
ask a question?
Yes.
Am I still super laggy?
No,
I don't think you're laggy. The camera's just a little like
New camera. Sorry. Go ahead.
camera's a little choppy, but you're all here as far as like audio and everything. So
Sounds good.
okay. So the 1 point question. Are we ready?
Yep.
Okay. Nick, why don't you give the 1 point question?
Great. Your 1 point question. Who plays a Star Wars father and an Epic Adventures professor?
I have to apologize to you.
To me?
Yeah.
Let me hear it.
Earlier, I told you that you didn't look like a lumberjack. That was a lie. You do look like a lumberjack.
Good, Tim, because I really was going for that, and it kind of hurt when you said that I didn't.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Repeat.
Okay, that was a repeat for David.
Question again. Who plays a Star Wars father and an Epic Adventures professor?
I just look like a guy who lives in Wisconsin. Because, you know, this
That's a good thing.
and like this and stuff, like the cheese and everything.
Like it's coming out of your pores.
Basically, it looks like it is.
Do you think Wisconsin is the only place that people eat cheese?
Every famous person that comes here just talk like every concert I go to, like, Wisconsin, you guys got cheese here. And it's like, yeah, we do. And beer. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. Let's go to Robert.
Mads Mikkelsen.
And let's go to David.
Harrison Ford.
Harrison Ford is the answer that we have.
Kaiser's waving.
Okay.
You're thinking of Dial of Destiny, right?
Yes.
Nick, can you repeat the question, please?
Who plays a Star Wars father and an Epic Adventures professor?
The thing is, Mads Mikkelsen, Professor implies that he teaches something.
Yeah,
I don't think he teaches in Dial of Destiny.
It's fair. I'll take the loss on that one. I wasn't thinking about it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we are going to move on to your 2-point question. David hits that, making it 16-9. But your 2-point question, guys. Who plays a DC villainous animal and a Ghostbuster?
You know what you look like?
Hit me with it.
You look like a mop top kid from Liverpool.
Aw, that's the nicest thing I've heard all day. 5, 4.
I'm going to repeat.
3. All right, that is Robert's first repeat. Your question again. Who plays a DC villainous animal and a Ghostbuster?
That's the nicest thing you've heard all day? Have you talked to no one else?
Yeah, but they don't say nice things to me about me.
Wow. Sorry.
It's not like Maggie's just like constantly like, hey, Tim, you're a great husband and father. Like, you're phenomenal. Great job. It's more like, hey, change this diaper now. 5.
So the bar's really low. I could say another slightly.
1. Pens down. Let's go to David.
Kate McKinnon.
And Robert.
I said Carrie Coon.
Kate McKinnon is correct. So David is making up some ground in this round. It is now 11-16. Oh, Kaiser wants to be brought in.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Normally, when they say when they want to imply like a voice role, they use the word voice instead of place, right?
Yeah.
Do you want to challenge that? Because
If
I think
if you think that's viable, then yes.
It's a bit misleading because I think in our previous iterations of like title matches, if it's a voice role, they will say voice instead of place. I think it's misleading because the question says place.
Okay. We'll challenge on the validity of how it was described as Kate McKinnon's first.
Yeah.
We'll be right back after this challenge.
All right, we're back from the challenge. Nick and I decided that we will not be accepting Kaiser and Robert's challenge. So David does get the points. It is 16-11. Both have used 1 repeat, but Robert has lost his challenge. So we are going to move on to the 3-pointer for this round, and that's going to come to you from Nick.
And that question is, who voices a Disney animated bear and a DreamWorks conqueror?
Interesting.
Very.
Would you be a Ghostbuster?
Yeah. Sounds dope.
Sounds hard.
Oh.
Just rewatch those movies. They work hard.
They just don't seem super qualified for their positions.
5, 4, 3.
Which makes it seem not that hard.
1.
Repeat.
All right, that is the second repeat for David.
Question again. Who voices a Disney animated bear and a DreamWorks conqueror?
I'm like trying to stop myself from saying things about bears and conquerors.
Is that really that hard to do?
Yes, it's like the forbidden thing. Like when you want, like you don't think about cows, and then all you can think about is cows.
You want to talk about
5,
villainous animals?
3.
Oh, wait, those could be bears.
1 pens down. Let's go to David
Hawking Phoenix.
and Robert.
I said Michael Clark Duncan.
Both are incorrect. We were looking for Jim Cummings.
Oh,
Jim Cummings.
Hmm.
So.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So the score coming out of that round, Nick, 16-11. Is that what you have?
Yeah, that's what I have, Tim.
All right. So we are going to move on to round number 4, the deep cut round. Nick, how's it going to work?
Round number 4 is going to work like this. It is the deep cut round. We have 8 films represented from 8 different fandom categories drafted by the players you see before you. 5 questions have been written from these films at a deep cut level. We will spin the wheel 5 times to get 5 questions.
Ooh.
And each players will have 15 seconds to write down their answer, and each question is worth 2 points apiece. Players, any questions as we get into round number 4?
No.
Great.
Okay. The films on the wheel are Predators, Ocean's 13, Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker, Star Trek Insurrection, Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2014, Wreck-It Ralph, and Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. So this will be the first spin for the deep cut wheel. And it lands on Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol. All right, guys, are you ready for your first question?
Yep.
All right, your first question in Ghost Protocol. What is Jane Carter's code name during the mission where Hannaway dies? Sad.
I went apple picking today.
You went goat picking today?
Wow.
What did you
I
say?
said apple.
Oh,
Yeah, I heard apple.
Pretty clearly. And now anytime you say something to me, I'm just going to replace one of the words in your sentence with a totally word not related.
Jesus. Let's go to Robert.
Bobcat.
And David.
Bobcat.
Bobcat is correct. So 18-13. Let's bring back the wheel. This will be the next spin. It lands on Star Trek Insurrection.
All right, your question in Star Trek Insurrection. While attached to Data's ship, Worf says that what was damaged by phaser fire? Did you write this? Missing words.
If I did, it was a long time ago. I don't remember writing this question, but I know I've written for this movie before.
Yeah. It's your fault.
That's fair. That's fair. Is it because of the goat thing? 5, 4.
Yeah, it is.
3.
That was weird.
2, 1 pens down. Let's go to David.
Stabilizers.
And Robert.
Dampeners.
Both are incorrect. We're looking for sequencer.
Okay.
Sequencer.
Okay.
So we will bring back the wheel. Here's the next spin in the deep cut round. And it lands on Wreck-It Ralph.
Sweet.
All right, guys, your question in Wreck-It Ralph. What is the full name of King Candy's green assistant? I'm afraid to say anything to you now.
You're afraid to throw anything?
I mean, that's not that off of. It's not as big of a disparageness. What's the word?
That's not as big of an onion?
There you go. There you go. 5, 4.
There I went.
2. No, see, 1 pens down. Let's go to Robert.
Sour Bill.
And David.
Sour Bill.
Sour Bill is correct. 20-15. Great year for film. As we bring back up the wheel, this is for the 4th deep cut question. Another Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol.
Cool.
All right, your question is, After Ethan kisses her, what does Bridge Naff say he wants to show Jane?
Good movie.
Yeah. Good
You like-
sandwich?
I don't know.
Good pelican?
Is this what we're gonna do the whole rest of the way? Because
Yep. Because I said I went apple picking and Tim's
Hands down. I'm sorry. Let's go to David.
The private art collection.
And Robert.
I said collection of art.
I think we can accept both of those answers. So 22-17 is the score as we are getting into the final spin for this round. Bad wheel. It lands on Wreck-It Ralph.
Man, good thing I spent all that time on.
I know, right? All right, guys, your question in Wreck-It Ralph. What are the group of citizens who live inside the building in Ralph's game called? Good match, Nick.
Yeah. I guess I'm done.
Okay, fair.
Good watermelon?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. Let's go to Robert.
They're the nice landers.
And David.
Yeah, the nice landers.
Nice landers is correct. So both of them going 4 for 5 in this round. It is 24-19, much to my dismay. But we are moving into round number 5, the betting round. Nick, how's it going to work?
Round number 5 is going to work like this. It is the betting round. We have 5 more questions and they're on the Fandom fights. Once the players hear the category, they can put anywhere between 0 and 2 points on the question. If they get the question correct, they'll gain those points. If they get the question incorrect, they will lose those points. We will play until someone is mathematically eliminated or we have reached the end of the match. Players, any questions as we get into round number 5?
Nah.
Go, Tim.
Okay, the first category that you guys can bet points on is the Wizarding World. Let's get bets, starting with Robert.
2.
Okay, and David.
2.
Okay, your question in the category of the Wizarding World is, in Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, who informs Arthur that Harry's trial has been moved up? Have you ever been to trial?
You asked me this when we were talking about the Scorch trials. You asked me the same question.
Did I?
I didn't have an answer then. Don't have an answer now.
Did I really?
Do you need a full name?
No.
I think I asked you when was the last time you were trialed. 5.
I thought you were staring at me because
2.
never mind.
1. Pens down. I literally don't remember that until this moment. Let's go to Robert.
I said Kingsley.
And David.
Kingsley.
Kingsley is correct. So 26-21. It is still a 5-point game. What's next, Nick?
Your next category will be Marvel.
Let's get bets, starting with David.
2.
And Robert.
1.
Okay, Nick, what's the question?
Your question is, who plays Senator Kelly, the human originally volleying for the Mutant Registration Act in X-Men? The original. Believe if you got it. Great. Don't forget to say and new whenever this ends because we'll be new.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Repeat.
Okay, that is your third repeat.
Question again. Who plays Senator Kelly, the human originally volleying for the Mutant Registration Act in the original X-Men?
Yeah, I'm doing like the thing from The Hangover where all the math is like.
I could just tell you if you want.
No, I mean I got it. I think I'm good. I'm good.
You can fuck this up.
Or about who to go to first? Is that what you're worried about? 5,
That's
4,
true, yeah.
3, 2.
Repeat.
All right, that is the final repeat for David.
Question again. Who plays Senator Kelly, the human originally volleying for the Mutant Registration Act in X-Men?
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. David, let's go to you first.
Bruce Timm.
And Robert.
Bruce Davison.
And your winner and new Fandom Fights singles champion, Robert Castner. Bruce Davison is correct. Oh, that's a heartbreaker, Nick, because David clearly got the first name there and then was just struggling to find that second name.
Yeah.
And just to prove that I know, Nick, if they both had missed, we would have moved on. And if they both hit, we would have moved on. But Robert hit. That ended the game 27-19. So a really good game from the first round. You know, being down 4 points, if you're playing like a Brittany, a Joe, very scary. But I think Robert and David have both proved they are comeback people. They can win from behind. And David was looking like he was mounting a comeback there, especially in round 3. Yeah. Robert flipped up pretty big in round 3, but made up for it in rounds 1, 2, and 4, and was able to make it happen in the betting round. And he's the new singles champion. This is insane.
Yeah, no, very cool stuff and great match. I was very worried after round number 2 because Robert had such a lead in round 1, which just shows you Robert's been playing at higher levels recently. And David, this is the only time I'll say that David has been taking the year slow. And once he found out he was playing in this is when he turned the gas on. Like that's a real hard thing to do in like a month's time. But when you're down by 4 and then you spin opponent's choice, give up the steal, I was kind of like, it's looking like lights out, but that's why I like David so much as a player. He didn't give up, mounted a huge comeback in round number 3, and then stayed even with Robert pretty much the rest of the match. And who knows where these next 3 categories were going. It could have been anyone's match. Like one flip in round 3, and now we have a tie game or a 1-point game. And that's the way it could have gone. But credit to Robert. Clearly he's been putting in the work and a well-deserved singles champion.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he deserves it. I feel like I said at the start, I think both of these guys would have deserved it, but Robert's been putting in the work, and it's awesome to see him hold the singles belt. So let's go talk to the players in the post-match interviews.
David Garcia, for someone who has, I said I'd only say it once. For someone who put like a lot of work in 1 month's time to try and get yourself to the level, to a title match level, I think it paid off. It was very clear that it paid off. Unfortunately, like you spun opponent's choice.
Yeah.
And even on opponent's choice, like when you threw out Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, I was like, did this guy like get
I didn't.
I was like, did he like go in ham on? Did he just trick Robert? But at the end of the day, like you got to ask some hard questions from the category that you didn't like before you started taking it easy, and you probably still don't like now. But round 3, like Robert, like that was the time to come back, and you definitely took advantage of that time, and it made for a more exciting match that you were able to do that and then totally match him going forward. It's just unfortunate because like no secrets here. This match, including round 1, round 3, and round 5, was supposed to be for Brittany and Joe if they played a third match. So that Marvel question was written as a data question several months ago. It just so happened that you got Marvel. I was like, I know David's going to go for this, but when you start taking it easy, usually data is the first thing to start to slip out of your head. So I was like, this could be it if he can't pull it. And that's just what happens. But at the end of the day, David, I think you did really well. I think after round 3, Robert was getting real nervous that this match wasn't as over as everyone might have thought it was. All this to say, you put in a great showing. How are you feeling about this? And this is your second time challenging for the title.
Well, obviously disappointed. Because I said in the post-match interview of the Gauntlet that, I mean, don't give me hope, the famous Hawkeye thing. I wasn't expecting to do it and to play in a title match. And like, I never thought I would be singles champ when I started playing. But it's I don't know. It's I guess it was a matter of which Quizlets do I prioritize in a month, because I watched movies for the wheel, and I was like, look, I can focus on horror for opponents, or I can just try and like hammer down the categories that have less movies. And I mean, I spun opponent's choice, and just it was over then and there. I am happy about how I did in round 3. I should have pulled Jim Cummings, because in my head I was like, okay, where is another bear in Disney? And I forgot about Winnie the Pooh. And I'm like, what the fuck? Winnie the Pooh is probably a lot more famous than Kenai.
Yeah.
If you take Winnie the Pooh or Baloo, and like, it was one of the two. If I had thought about one of the two, I was like, I have no fucking idea who plays Baloo. So let's go with the ones who I know. But it's disappointing because I put work into it. But I mean, I want to thank Alex, because he watched a lot of Deep Cuts for me, and then Brittany, Joe, and Tyler. I didn't miss the fucking watching movies and studying part of this. I didn't miss it at all. I want to do it again. If I somehow win another event, I want to study for the next title match. And fuck it, I don't care.
Okay.
But it was nice to party together, the 4 of us, like it was 2021, and having Brittany here with me. I think it was like a nice callback. Congratulations to Robert. He was clearly the player who deserved to be the champion, comparing with how he was playing. So, and he's going to take seriously his defenses, because I told you guys that if I had to defend the belt, I wasn't going to like do anything else. This was a one and done.
Sure.
But it is disappointing. It is disappointing. So yeah, because bringing out competitive David again took work. Yeah, I will have hope for a different outcome. But yeah, it's. I mean, it's fine. I will keep playing with my attitude.
Sure. Well, David, as much as anyone would be disappointed in losing, I think you did accomplish a lot of things you set out to accomplish. You said right when you won the thing that you wanted to make this a good match because you respect the game and you respect Robert. You didn't want to just like lay down and die, and you absolutely did not do that. Brittany, as the person whose fault all of this is, how do you think David did it? It's his second title showing, and he might think he could never be the singles champion, but like I've never thought that. And
I've always thought he could. Yeah, I thought he played great. It's hard where he hasn't been studying, and there's like over 500 movies now. I know you put the work into data, but just it didn't fall where you prepped, unfortunately. And round 5, Marvel is one of the biggest categories, so of course data had to fall under the one that's the hardest to study.
The thing that sucks for me is that Bruce Davidson was a name I used to know.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? That sucks, because I'm like, I see his face, I know his first name, and I'm like, Harris, Davidson, Greenwood, all the Bruce team.
Yeah, like, the first name too. Yeah, it just So no, I'm very proud of how he played. That filmography round was great, and Deep Cuts you also played great in. I understand why it just sucks that opponents and spinners have to be on when there's a vacant belt, because I think this match would have maybe went a little differently had you gotten a better spin. But no, I'm really proud of him, and I'm really happy though for Robert too. He's well deserving champion, and he played a great game. So yeah,
absolutely. Well, David, I think no matter how not seriously you take it going forward, no matter who you find across from you in any of your next matches, we'll be very worried, especially based on the showing you gave today. So congratulations on a match well played, and we will see you soon. Robert Castner, the new Fandom singles champion. Hell of a year you're having, and what a cherry on top of all the things you've accomplished this year. Incredible. We could talk about 8 for 10 in round 1. That's insane. You clearly made the right choice in what to give David in round 2. Bit of a stumble in round 3, but honestly, it made for a more exciting match. And the weird part about it is you, and I've seen players do this before. Brittany's done this before. You're like too good to hit a 1-point question, because you can't just go to Harrison Ford. You have to go like, wait, who's the 4th, 5th person down on IMDb. And I think that's what happened for at least the first two questions in round number 3. But you once said, you might not know that I know this, but you used to be on a show hosted by Colton. I like Colton a lot. I used to watch that show.
That show.
And you used to talk about your matches. And I remember you said one time, I might not know as much as everyone else. Like other people might know more. They might have seen more, but I can outwork anyone. And I remembered that. And I was like, I respect the shit out of that, because I think that's what you did to not only win the gauntlet, to not only challenge you had to challenge at the beginning of this year to be eligible for the gauntlet. Like you almost weren't eligible for the gauntlet. But you did that at the beginning of this year, won the gauntlet, and now you're the singles champion. I think all that hard work has paid off. Would you agree? And how are you feeling?
Nick, I can't believe you brought up things from shows that don't exist in this universe. I love it. I absolutely agreed with that. Sometimes you can see, and for me, it's a frustrating thing when I can't deal with the barriers of my limitations. I hate it. It keeps me up at night. I'm like, why can't I just remember things better? What is going on? Like I study and I look at this stuff so much. I should know it better. Like I should know it like the back of my hand. And some stuff I do. That stuff. The last time I played in a singles match, I had a bad round one. I usually have bad round one. When I played with Kaiser, I had the worst round one ever. But this one just sort of fell into place, and I enjoyed how it went. And even though, like I knew it was Gorkin's daughter, I just couldn't remember her name. I was like, I know who it is, but I don't remember her name. I have deep cuts for that. I didn't study it because it wasn't relevant. But yeah, it was really difficult. Even the month time frame, like it took me a long time to get going, to get the stuff. And I literally the last 2 weeks, I think I've been up late every night, deep cutting and studying stuff, because that's really, when you're a father and a husband, that's the time you have, because you want to spend the rest of the time with your family. And that's the most important thing. So I don't mind doing that. It gives me an additional purpose beyond them to have this to work for. And I have a bunch of other stuff coming up with regards to multiplex stuff. And in addition to the family stuff, my work has gotten more tight grip on me too. So usually I used to like do stuff at work, and I don't do as much stuff for this at work anymore because I don't have the opportunity. So I'm really just sort of cut to what I have after Bella goes to sleep. And I tried to do as much as I could. Deep cuts always worries me, because I think you guys will do, like, what's the sequence of numbers when Brant, what's the sequence when he puts it out, when he does the camera? And I know what it is, but I'm like, you're never going to ask that. But I don't know that because I'm paranoid about stuff. But I could get sequencer. Good on you, brain. Good job. But there was one thing that struck me in your post match with David. I kind of felt like, despite his attitude toward it, I kind of felt like he was getting choked up at the idea that he can't win the singles belt, which is the craziest thing. I've been in multiplex for 3 years now. That's going on 4. That's the craziest thing I've ever heard anybody say, because David is a quintessential champion. And it's just that, and it's weird in this match, all the data stuff besides round 3 went my way. That's how I got the lead. That's how I maintained it. And that's how I ultimately won the belt, was the last data question. But for some reason, filmography, it goes out of my head and I don't really know why. So David is incredible. I'm so glad we got to share this together. Honestly, I feel like we're sharing it together because Brittany dropped the belt. And I'm glad I got to share it with Kaiser and the faction. This is what I wanted all the time. I never really thought it was a possibility. Sometimes things have to go your way, and things went my way, but I took advantage of the opportunity. You have to do that too. And I'm very happy with myself and with everybody who helped me, with my family, who's very supportive. And for you and Tim, Nick, you guys put on a great show and you guys run a great league. And I respect the hell out of how you guys put in the effort to do this all the time without monetary compensation or anything like that, because you guys care. And I just want to be known as someone who cared enough to want to win. And it's happened. And I'm very excited about it. I rambled a long ass time. I apologize.
It was good. It was very, very good. Kaiser, your teammate is now the singles champion. How do you feel about that?
all I can say is that I feel incredibly proud of Robert. Like a running theme throughout this whole match is about, I think, sacrifices. Like David had to make sacrifices. Like he was really like happily like so called like semi-retired. Like he wanted to play this game in a fun way. He had to come back like just for one month to go into like intense trivia study mode. That's a hard ask for anyone to do. And then, as Robert said earlier, he had to stay up late into like midnight, maybe like 2-3 a.m. to just study deep cuts for like TMNT 2014. That is horrible.
And we didn't get asked any questions about it, which is also great.
Yeah, which sucks. But and as for the filmography run, I will take some responsibility because peek behind the curtain. Whenever I give filmography questions to a Robert, I always make them a bit too tough. So that when you say like something as obvious as a Harrison Ford, I think I accidentally caused Robert to overthink to Matt Nicholson. So that's on me. But honestly, even aside from all that, I'm just really glad because Robert has worked like so hard for this. Like I'll say that just because like people like Joe and Brittany, that those who are the most talented people in this community, and they work their butts off together. But just because people don't win the titles immediately doesn't mean that they don't put in the effort, which I can assure you Robert did.
Absolutely.
So I feel just incredibly proud.
Yeah, fantastic stuff. Well, Robert, you are now the defending singles champion. You have one more match before the end of the year. You will be playing either the winner of WOT, if it is a singles player. WOT starts next week. If a singles player wins, you've got them. If a team wins WOT, we'll have something else in store for you. But there's still some, on top of all the great success you've had so far, there's still something in your back pocket that I can spoil will obviously be used for teams because you don't really need it for singles anymore. So Rule 2, the next time we see you will be in a contenders match, which I guess will be the sprinkles on top of the cherry, on top of the sundae that has been this. But are you two prepared for that eventuality?
I am, though I will say, that Kaiser's laughing about. If we do want to do that, I do have to be better than I was today. I was pretty good. I need to like tighten up a couple things. But if I do that, I feel really good from my end, and I trust Kaiser implicitly to be good from his end. So it's good. But Nick, I also want to say something.
Sure.
As the singles champion, I call out to everybody past and present who wants the belt. I am not shying away. I do not care. It could be Joe. It could be Tyler. It could be Rue. If Brittany wants to come out of retirement, by all means. Because as the champion, I have to be able to beat the best people. And I don't shy away from it. Might seem like a stupid thing to say, but I don't care. Anybody come out of retirement, they want to come at me, come at me. I'm etched in history. I don't care. Let's go.
Good shit.
That's one thing they can never take away from you. Yeah.
Damn right. Well, Robert, congratulations, new Fandom singles champion. We'll see you at your next defense at your first defense at the final act. We'll see Rule 2 before that. So, congratulations. Thank you, sir. We'll see you soon.
All right. Excellent title match. That's going to do it for us. It was awesome. It was so good to see. We loved it. Yay, go Robert, go David, go Nick for writing, go the managers. Yay, Papa for editing, all that stuff. We'll see you next time. But actually, seriously, congrats, Robert. Good shit. We'll see you guys next time. Tomorrow, there's a team's title match.
Oh, yeah.
It could get bloody. I'm scared for my life. We'll see you then. Bye.